Chapter 21 Yunyin with Malicious Intentions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yunyin village, Karabi and Yakido, who were about to set off, were called back by the fourth Raikage. Brother! Why did you call us back again? Yo! Yo! You guy! Stupid guy! It was Karabi who spoke. He has a strange accent every time he speaks, and he has no rap talent. But that doesn't hinder his love, even though everyone thinks it's yin and yang. I was already immune to the way his foster brother spoke. As the Eight-Tails Jinchuriki, he had already suffered enough injustices in the village. Even having a hobby was a trivial matter. We received news that Uchiha Itachi led half of the Uchiha elites to flee Konoha. Those Uchiha lunatics can't stand it anymore. Yo! Yo! You guy! Stupid guy. Several major ninja villages have undercover agents in each other's villages. After all, the village is so big, undercover agents are unavoidable, so they knew about Konoha Danzo digging out Shirsue's eyes 2 days ago. Because of this incident, Konoha almost became the laughingstock of the entire ninja world. Karabi does not have any political talent. Not to mention his young age now, he will still be a political idiot even after decades. So I can't understand the twists and turns inside, but Yakido was much smarter than Karabi, and she immediately grasped the key point. Has Konoha been weakened again? So should our target this time be Uchiha? AI shook his head. Things have become more complicated. Then he handed the intelligence information to Yakido. Karabi poked his head and noticed the photo of the extremely powerful Susanoo. Is this Susanoo? Yo! Yo! You guy! Stupid guy! After Yakido read the information, he realized that although the Uchiha had left more than 100 elites, the entire clan had no human losses other than buildings. It was also revealed that Fugaku and Itachi were both powerful Mangekyo Sharingan. The current Uchiha and Konoha village only seem to be inseparable, but there is no open and honest break. Moreover, it is difficult to say whether Itachi's departure was due to some kind of deal with the third generation. If the war really starts again, Itachi and Fugaku will not know whether they will help Konoha or not, but they will definitely not help Kyomogakure, at least not now. After all, Yunin's finances were completely unaffordable, so he took the initiative to negotiate. This is happening now. Yandame-sama, what do you think? The fourth Raikage tapped Uchiha on the intelligence. Our original plan remains unchanged, but we must pay attention to Uchiha's attitude. The current Uchiha is very strong. Although the nominal leader of the mission is Karabi, Karabi is just a mascot. After all, he is AI's younger brother. The real leader is Yumu-ren. Whether they go for peace talks this time or for other purposes depends on the state of the other party. The great changes in the Uchiha clan have aroused heated discussions among many villagers, and a lot of rumors leaked out. It was said that during the Nine-Tails Rebellion, Danzo did not allow Uchiha to fight in order to protect the villagers, and they have been targeted over the years. It is said that the young leader of the Uchiha clan ran away because Danzo dug out Uchiha Shirsue's eyes, but the third-generation Hokage only punished Danzo verbally. Whether Danzo's Hokage assistant or not is just a name. Isn't he still the consultant elder now? Another rumor is interesting. It was said that Uchiha had been dissatisfied with the village for a long time, and the third generation was incompetent, which caused Itachi, Uchiha and Shirsue to rebel. Now the third generation is soft-hearted, and only said that Itachi ran away. The third generation is not worthy of being Hokage at all. Originally, these rumors would usually be supported by people, but after what they experienced before, when Shirsue Uchiha had his eyes gouged out without rebelling, everyone scoffed at the rumors of Black Uchiha. If others wanted to rebel, they would have done so long ago. They had to wait until today, and villagers are the most sensitive to daily life. There are only so many commercial streets in Konoha. Where the Uchiha clan is on duty, security must be better. The patrols are intensive, the work efficiency is high, and the experience in handling accidents is also rich. The next best thing is the Hyuga family's responsibility, which is also gentle and has a white eye. Even if an accident occurs far away, it cannot escape the eyes of the Hyuga clan. Although the handling of the accident is a bit slow, everyone can accept it. The worst ones belong to the 1st to 4th streets. I heard that they are Danzo's subordinates. They don't care about everything when they encounter things. The men all had cold faces and vicious attacks. Losing arms and legs is common. Nowadays, no one is willing to go to 1st Street to 4th Street, which has caused a lot of depression there. Originally, everyone had no impression of the elder Shimura Danzo, but now everyone knows what this is. If you want to be Hokage, you have to make achievements. Every day you either frame Uchiha or throw dirty water on the 3rd generation. If Danzo were not Konoha's advisory elder, the villagers would spit outside his door, although Danzo is also aware of the problem and wants all the roots of the security team to be gentle in law enforcement. Some habitual things cannot be changed so easily. Moreover, after the majority of villagers have formed a fixed impression, it will be difficult for them to have a good impression of you, and now the Uchiha are busy hiring construction teams to rebuild their clan lands. But the distance is relatively far from Konoha. Of course, Uchiha immediately built a road to make it easier for Uchiha civilians who opened shops in Konoha village to travel back and forth. Although it is a bit troublesome, business is much better now than before, and the other villagers no longer look at it strangely, so the Uchiha civilians still accept it. Moreover, this road was paved with fine stones, which cost a lot of money. Many people think that Uchiha built such a good road because he had too much money. On the contrary, Uchiha's own clan doesn't seem to care much about it, and the building materials can only be said to be average. It's just an ordinary building, without the high-end sense of a big clan, and the decorations are very sparse. The new building can be said to be simple. Natsuki and Fugaku discussed all of this. Later, a guy would come to Konoha to resist rice. If the scope of the resistance to rice was larger, no matter how beautiful it is now, it would be nothing more than a ball of rubble. If development develops outside, this place will be abandoned sooner or later. Why is it so beautiful? Xiaomu has been investigating fire country delicacies and snacks. After understanding the food situation in this world, I copied all kinds of Chinese food in the planning book. Of course, it is the main frame, the details, material selection, and final product all require Itachi and the others to constantly try on their own, except that the raw materials differ in different parts of the world. Also, what are the tastes of people in this world? But fortunately, Uchiha still had a lot of funds accumulated over the years, enough for them to work hard for a long time. If the funds are not enough, Itachi and Shiro can also make guest appearances as bounty ninjas. After all, there is no need to regret 2 high-end combat capabilities. There are many rewards on the black market. As long as you have the ability, it is the fastest way to make a fortune. Didn't you see that this is how Xiao made his fortune? Although I was all fooled by that prodigal bitch Xiaonan afterwards. Chapter 22 Dream Practice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's been a while since Itachi left. As time goes by, the popularity of Uchiha has dropped. Xiaomu, who had been concerned about public opinion before, was actually very busy, because there is a new function in his power template, excellent leader. As an excellent leader, if your subordinates can do it, you must also do it, and you must be stronger. In the power template, the portraits of people with high loyalty or closeness to Shemu will be highlighted. After clicking it, there is a dream button inside. The current personnel include Fugaku, Takuya, Hinata, Itachi, Shiro, and some Uchiha clan members. Natsuki clicked on the frame of Fugaku's avatar. The combat below was also broken down into categories. Natsuki clicked on the Taijutsu button. The dream is being constructed. The dream is constructed. Uchiha Fugaku Taijutsu. Xiaomu was sleeping on the bed, and as soon as he closed his eyes, his consciousness entered a martial arts arena. A Fugaku appeared on the opposite side, and Fugaku demonstrated his physical skills one by one. Every move of Fugaku's Taijutsu contains a strong Uchiha style, which is gorgeous and dazzling. With the blessing of the Sharingan, he flew up and down. It is hard to imagine that a strong man has such good body coordination. After Fugaku finished his demonstration, he rushed over with a quick glance. Natsuki subconsciously used the substitution technique, but found that chakra could not be mobilized. With a bang, Natsuki exploded like a shadow clone. Xiaomu opened her eyes and found herself in the bedroom. Oh, the virtual training room. Natsuki opened the power panel again and found that Fugaku's profile picture had dimmed and there was a countdown next to it. It takes 24 hours to simulate once. Natsuki clicked on Itachi's Taijutsu. the dream is being constructed. The dream is constructed. Uchiha Itachi Taijutsu. Natsuki closed her eyes that he returned to the martial arts arena again, and opposite him was Uchiha Itachi wearing ANBU clothes and carrying a sword. Itachi first demonstrated the taijutsu like Fugaku, but Itachi demonstrated more than Fugaku the use of shurikens, as well as Itachi's control of the shuriken under various high-speed movements. There is also a change in the direction of the shuriken through the impact of the shuriken in the air. Natsuki was simply amazed, originally, as a time traveler. He spent several months traveling around almost dying. I thought that I had mastered my skills and was a qualified Uchiha Jounin. Now it seems that there is still a big gap between ordinary ninjas and geniuses. After Uchiha Itachi finished the demonstration, he rushed towards Natsuki just like Fugaku before, but Itachi was moving at high speed and throwing many shurikens. This time Shimo was mentally prepared, so he was very careful at first, with the blessing of the kaleidoscope. Natsuki dodged Itachi's shuriken very well. I still have some talent. Natsuki thought so. Ping. The clang of shurikens, the shuriken that had been dodged changed its direction again, heading towards the direction Natsuki was dodging. Xiaomu dodged dangerously and dangerously. Itachi threw the shuriken again, not only hitting the shuriken in front, but the other two shurikens blocked the two Natsuki's escape routes. While Natsuki blocked the shuriken with his sword, Itachi had already stepped forward. With one strike, Natsuki was reduced to smoke. Xiaomu opened his eyes suddenly. Itachi's shuriken is truly an art. Xiaomu still didn't believe it and chose the fourth elder Yang Ping. The dream is being constructed. The dream is constructed. Uchiha Hinata Taijutsu. Xiaomu closed her eyes again. After a long time, Xiaomu opened his eyes and took a heavy breath. Yang Ping in the dream is already in an old state. Even with Hinata in this state, Natsuki spent a lot of thought before dying together with him. Yes, that's right, not victory, but death together. Sure enough, no one like this who has been on the battlefield is easy to deal with. However, in the power board, Uchiha Hinata's taijutsu column disappeared. Xiaomu scratched his head, then try something else. He clicked on Hinata's jutsu again. The dream is being constructed. The dream is constructed. Uchiha Hinata ninjutsu. Now that Natsuki has experience, when he enters the dream, he sees Hinata standing there explaining the ninjutsu he knows. Most of them are fire escape, and there are a small amount of earth escape. Natsuki Yuan's strongest point is ninjutsu, but he only knows fire escape, and earth escape is incompetent. There is no way, and he has no earth escape attribute. Xiaomu had tested it a long time ago, and he only had fire escape and thunder escape attributes. Natsuki successfully released the fire release according to Hinata's ninjutsu seals and the route of chakra movement. Natsuki, who is an earth escaper, also tried it and found that he could cast the corresponding technique without having chakra with corresponding attributes in the dream. After Natsuki completed all the jutsu, there was no ninjutsu battle session as he thought. Instead, he exited the dream space directly, and Elder Yang Ping still has one illusion left. After Shemu clicked, he was still the same as before. The dream is being constructed. The dream is constructed. Uchiha Hinata, Genjutsu. After entering, there are also theoretical courses, as well as releasing illusions and unlocking illusions. The predecessor's Genjutsu was already good, and Natsuki quickly completed the course. Maybe it's because Xiaomu's power is too strong. Hinata used Genjutsu on Natsuki, but Natsuki immediately used his pupil power to counterattack. Xiaomu exited the fantasy space again. Natsuki discovered that in the power template, in Uchiha Hinata's avatar, the taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu had all disappeared. There is only one actual button. Natsuki was full of fighting spirit. Once again, the dream is being constructed. The dream is constructed. Uchiha Hinata actual combat. Xiaomu entered the dreamland again, but this time it is an actual practice of completely liberalizing restrictions. After a while, Xiaomu opened his eyes again. His expression was quite ugly. Unexpectedly, Uchiha Hinata, an old elder, had such vicious experience. He actually made a trap with shurikens and detonating charms. He accidentally fell into the trap. In the end, Susanoo won. My actual combat performance was even worse than I imagined. When I clicked on Yang Ping's interface again, the actual combat button was still there, but it had entered a cooling period. It seemed that actual combat could be challenged repeatedly. Natsuki thought so, and then set his target on the third elder, Uchiha Takuya, entered the dreamland again. The morning sun shone in, and Xiaomu opened his eyes blankly. The time in this dream is actually synchronized with reality. Xiaomu didn't sleep at all that night. Xiaomu felt that his mind was exhausted and he was almost sleepy to death. The success of one night's efforts was to kill the old and frail elder Yangping. Natsuki also lost the third elder Takuya's actual battle. Of course, Natsuki didn't use Susanna. As for Fugaku, Shisui, and Itachi, they did not have the option of actual combat. When it came to taijutsu, Natsuki lost. In ninjutsu, there is no fighting, but if you practice ninjutsu incorrectly, chakra will explode in the body, and you will explode into smoke if you are not careful. Natsuki's talent in illusions can only be said to be acceptable, but his eyesight is strong and he can break away from illusions in a very short period of time, but when it comes to performing magic, he can't compare to a few people. The only ones who can steadily hold down one end are some Uchiha elites with 3 Magatama, or 2 Magatama players like Uchiha Kame. Most Uchiha elites have no shortcomings. Among the taijutsu, Uchiha Yoya is the best in swordsmanship. His body skills are extremely fast and his swordsmanship is ruthless. Not at all like his usual naive self. The best shuriken thrower is Itachi. The technique of hitting each other's shurikens to change direction requires extremely strong insight. The one with the best genjutsu was Shisui. Fighting against Shisui, Natsuki felt like a fool. He was controlled by the genjutsu without even meeting him. If it wasn't for the strong pupil power of the kaleidoscope, he wouldn't even have a chance to fight back. After a night of beatings, Xiaomu was exhausted. Seeing their own power template interface, almost everyone's dreams went into cooling mode. Xiaomu closed her eyes, and she really fell asleep this time. After Xiaomu woke up, she went to the training ground to exercise. Come back and continue the dream deduction. As a result, Xiaomu spends his days training at the training ground besides sleeping. Sometimes, when other Uchiha saw Natsuki in the training ground, Natsuki would move around for a while and then leave, but whether it was physical skills or ninjutsu, everyone present was amazed. Such efficient training every day and actual combat in dreams finally allowed Shimu to grow up quickly. Now Natsuki is like a warrior who has experienced hundreds of battles, no longer a jounin who is on the verge of death for doing small tasks. However, Xiaomu couldn't learn the unique pupil technique of Kaleidoscope Sharingan, and Xiaomu's Kaleidoscope pupil technique has never shown signs of awakening. Xiaomu was not in a hurry and waited patiently. Previously, the pupil power of 3 kaleidoscopes was poured into the eyes, causing Natsuki's pupil power to be very huge, and it was improving every moment. Now Shimu is doing nothing and getting stronger all the time. Not to mention that he was still sparring with Fugaku, Shisui, and Itachi in his dreams every night. Chapter 23 Sasuke. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Natsuki, who had just enjoyed his leisurely life for a few days, was caught by Fugaku and insisted that Sasuke become his disciple. Because the situation was unclear, Fugaku was originally going to send Sasuke out of the village, but Natsuki stopped him. The reason given by Natsuki is that there are too many careerists in the ninja world now. Unless Sasuke can be protected by the Manjikyu Sharingan, it will be more dangerous for Sasuke to be alone outside. Just kidding. If Sasuke is no longer in Konoha, how can he still form a bond with Naruto? Grow, be hit, grow again, be hit again, and grow again, but this is just a casual move by Natsuki. After all, he is not optimistic about Sasuke. Although Sasuke and Naruto are both children of destiny, Sasuke is reincarnated as Indra and Naruto is reincarnated as Asura. Sasuke has always been far behind Naruto, except of course for Naruto's Ninetales plug-in. In terms of qualifications, you can tell him that he is good. He will wipe out his entire clan and open a Magatama in anger. Let's just say he's not good enough. He only spent 3 Magatama with Naruto for a year. The remaining 2 Magatama and 3 Magatama are all related to Naruto. The death of parents is not as good as Naruto's bond. According to Itachi's design, Sasuke should have activated the kaleidoscope long ago, and it should be an evenly matched battle with him, and he would eventually die at his hands. You can release the hatred in Sasuke's heart and finally achieve Sasuke's eternal kaleidoscope. As a result, when Sasuke fought him, he only had poor San Magatama. The battle between Itachi and Sasuke should be the most difficult one in Itachi's life. After all, he has to calculate Sasuke's chakra, his own lifespan, and eye power. He couldn't let Sasuke see it yet. This level of water release can be said to be at its peak. Sasuke wasn't very smart in terms of IQ. His entire family was wiped out and thousands of people died tragically. His brother deceived him with just one sentence. He believed it without any doubts. It would be understandable if he was ignorant when he was young, but now that he is grown up, 16 years old, and Itachi is dead, he has to have others explain it to him before he realizes that he has never really thought about it. He has an unstable mind and no one to teach him. After his clan was exterminated, he felt proud and inferior. As you gain more power, you become more confident and arrogant. Every time he upgraded, his character became arrogant. With the kaleidoscope, he thought he was invincible, always challenged the boss by leapfrogging. The 3 Magatama challenges the kaleidoscope defeats the 8 tails, and the Eternal Kaleidoscope defeats the Samsara Eye. As a result, he was beaten severely every time he acted on a whim. How many years did Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan take? However, when Sasuke opened his Mangekyo Sharingan, it took less than a month from opening to blindness. Actual usage time does not exceed 1 hour. I don't know if it was the influence of the Sharingan, but when I finally took revenge, I killed everyone I saw. In the end, Natsuki and Naruto sealed Kaguya together. Natsuki felt that there were too many accidental factors. Xiaomu did not place her hopes on such unstable factors. He prefers Itachi, whose learning ability is strong. Kunai and shuriken are far superior to those of ninjas of the same level, and his seal formation speed is unbelievable. How to use the enemy's attacks in battle to control the entire battle situation. After entering ANBU, his strength grew much faster than the genius Kakashi, and he was already equivalent to a shadow level powerhouse when he rebelled against the village. The strongest genjutsu belongs to him. One look can counter Konoha genjutsu master Yuhi Kurenai, and 1 month of reading can defeat Kakashi. Orochimaru, one of the veteran 3 ninjas, was pinned to death by Itachi's illusion. He has a calm mind and is extremely calm at all times. He quickly analyzes the enemy's weaknesses in actual combat, makes very strong on-the-spot judgments, and always holds a trump card that can turn the situation around. Nothing is better than Sasuke. The only drawback is that he is not in good health, so Natsuki arranged to go to Tian country. Shisui is also a young genius, and he can activate the kaleidoscope earlier and faster than Sasuke. His genjutsu is even higher than Itachi's, and his body skills are unparalleled in the world. He is the fastest person besides possessing time and space ninjutsu. In the original world, if one had not died early, one's future achievements would have been limitless. For this reason, it is also Shimu's key training target. Therefore, Natsuki also lacks interest in Sasuke's training, but Fugaku had already come to ask for help. Xiaomu couldn't explain it anymore. After all, although it was all with the help of the system, Fugaku had always given full support to all his decisions, which was why things went so smoothly. After all, he is the reincarnation of Indra, and he is not crooked yet. Natsuki will see if he can save it. As far as the first step is concerned, it is to eliminate Sasuke's tendency to show off. If Sasuke can be more stable, his combat power will increase sharply. The other thing is, it just doesn't feel good to look at. When Sasuke was just brought back to the village, he realized that so many things had happened to the family during his absence. The eldest brother Shisui, whom he admired, had his eyes gouged out. There was a deputy clan leader in the clan, and his beloved brother ran away from the village, taking many Uchiha people with him. His home was destroyed. It is now in ruins, but fortunately my father and mother are still there. In his 5-year-old mind, he had no idea what all this was about. He was walking down the street alone, somewhat glumly. Although he was unhappy, he still had to maintain a cool expression. After all, he is an Uchiha. When the villagers saw him, their eyes had some different meanings, but most of them were kind. After all, Sasuke was just a child, and his family had just suffered huge changes. In the eyes of ordinary people, these huge changes were the beginning of a noble's decline. Sasuke couldn't understand the meaning of this look, but he felt very unhappy. He ran forward as hard as he could, and unknowingly came to the small woods where he often went. While still there, I heard the sharp yelling of a child. "Get lost! You fox demon, who wants to play with you? Just wait, you will definitely become Hokage." Ha ha ha, you still become Hokage like this. It was you, the fox demon, who killed my father. Hit him. Hit him. Sasuke walked through the woods and saw several children fighting. Several children were riding on Uzumaki Naruto's back and beating him. Uzumaki Naruto's face was full of tears, but he refused to admit defeat at all and kept struggling. Hey! Who allowed you to bully others? Sasuke walked out of the forest. Who are you? None of your business. Sasuke put his hands in his pockets. I am Uchiha Sasuke. Let him go quickly. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Uchiha. Several children looked at each other, then he laughed loudly. What's so great about Uchiha? Ha 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 ha. Uchiha is no longer able to survive. Your young Uchiha leader has defected. Why are you still showing off your power? Damn it. Sasuke was furious when he heard this. I'm going to teach you brats a lesson today. Sasuke rushed forward and punched the child who was pressing Naruto to the ground. Naruto also took the opportunity to stand up. Naruto was very thick-skinned and dirty, but not seriously injured. The two worked together to fight with 3 other children. After all, Sasuke comes from the Uchiha family, and is different from Naruto's bastard fist. There are already rules for physical skills. One is tripping, the other is elbow. 2 of them had already been knocked down. While Naruto was still fighting with the other 2, Naruto knocked the other man down with his fist. Seeing that they could not gain any advantage, the few people pulled each other to their feet and ran away. A fox demon. A traitorous tribesman. Just wait for me. The only one left in the forest was Naruto, who looked disgraced and had tears on his face. Although Sasuke was clean, his face didn't look good. Chapter 24 Naruto. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sasuke put his hands in his pockets again. Hey, crybaby, why are you in such a mess? Naruto put away the sad look on his face. Huh, brat, where have you been recently? I didn't see you by the lake. Sasuke and Naruto have known each other since childhood. Sasuke often practices fire escape by the lake, but Naruto hasn't seen Sasuke recently. There have been many bad rumors about Uchiha recently. For children, the rumors above are usually about picking up bad ones. No matter in which world, this kind of brat has a virtue. Father sent me out for a trip. I was locked in the room every day and was bored to death. Sasuke explained casually. Naruto asked cautiously, Sasuke, is there something going on at home? Sasuke wanted to get angry, but seeing Naruto's cautious look, he just snorted. It's okay, I am a very good Uchiha. For Naruto, he had been bullied since he was a child. He envied Sasuke very much because other people's relatives were around him, and he is just an orphan without a father or a mother. Only his grandfather, the 3rd Hokage, came to see him occasionally. He didn't understand many things. He didn't know why those people called him a fox demon, and he didn't know why those people didn't want to be friends with him. But Sasuke, Hinata, and Shikamaru have never bullied him, and they are people he can get close to. He was worried that something would happen to his friend's family and he would become an unwanted orphan like him. While Naruto and Sasuke were communicating, several Umbu were standing on the treetops nearby. They were all arranged by the Hokage to monitor the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki 24 hours a day. What Naruto did, what he ate, and what he said every day must be recorded and reported to the 3rd generation. Although Sasuke and Naruto knew each other before, the Uchiha at that time was different from now. So when Sasuke came into contact with Naruto, there was already an ANBU reporting to the Hokage. While Naruto was under surveillance, there was another person standing on the tree next to him, and that was Natsuki Uchiha. He was asked by Fugaku to accept Sasuke as his disciple, but he wanted to see him first. What is it like for Sasuke who has not experienced the night of genocide yet? Judging from the fight just now, Uchiha Sasuke is a kind-hearted kid with a bit of arrogance. Sasuke received an elite education at home, and now he practices shuriken at home, and he even knows fire escape, but he just used physical skills to beat a few children away. He would comfort Naruto later. Natsuki looked at it for a long time, touching his chin and wondering if he was too prejudiced against Sasuke. After Sasuke's family was exterminated and his property was occupied by Konoha, no one taught him, and he didn't seem to blame him for growing crookedly. Well, it's not too late. Natsuki jumped directly from the tree, and both Sasuke and Naruto were shocked. Sasuke, do you know me? Then he showed his Sharingan. Sasuke was a little wary at first and blocked Naruto behind him, but then he breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Natsuki's Sharingan. Those who have the Sharingan are the clan members. I am Xiaomu, you have met me. Xiaomu smiled. When Sasuke looked at Natsuki, his appearance gradually resembled that of the former Uchiha Natsuki. No wonder he couldn't remember clearly, because Natsuki himself had met Sasuke a few times before. Ah! You are Natsuki-senpai. Sasuke suddenly recognized Natsuki, then he said with some hesitation, I heard that Senior Shemu, you are the deputy clan leader now. Xiaomu doesn't have the habit of showing off. In the clan, keeping a straight face requires dignity. There was no need in front of Sasuke. He said angrily, for those who are not deputy chiefs, just call me senpai. Sasuke said happily, yes, Natsuki-senpai. Xiaomu looked up and then asked, didn't I ask you to go home immediately after returning to the village? What are you doing here? I. Sasuke heard many rumors just after entering the village, so I came here feeling depressed. Don't leave me alone. You're hungry. I'll take you to eat. Natsuki rubbed Sasuke's head. Okay. Sasuke felt a little uncomfortable, but couldn't avoid Natsuki's hand. Naruto stood nearby, with envy and sadness in his eyes. Then Sasuke, I'm going home for dinner too. Naruto tried to cheer up, not wanting Sasuke to see his sadness. There should be a box of instant noodles at home. Wait a moment. Natsuki showed a kind smile, you are Sasuke's friend. Naruto sniffed, yes, uncle. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I am the man who will be the Hokage in the future. Uncle. Xiaomu was really dumbfounded, but he was also 20 years old. In a world where people go to war in their teens and get married, it is normal to be called uncle at the age of 20, but Natsuki doesn't like it. Ignoring the second half of Naruto's sentence, he had already quietly looked at Naruto just now. He was wearing rags and had a pretty face, that is to say, the Uzumaki clan has a strong physique, otherwise Naruto would be hungry for a long time and drink expired milk. Even if you're not dead, you're definitely going to be sick. Sarutobi Hiruzen is really nothing, I cursed in my mind. Natsuki smiled and said, since you are Sasuke's friend, can I treat you to ramen? Oh. Really, uncle? Naruto was full of surprises. Normally, the money given to him by his third-generation grandfather was not much. It would take him a long time to eat ramen. When Natsuki saw Naruto's happy look, she severely spurned the third Hokage in her heart. Of course it's true, but I don't like you calling me uncle. You can call me Natsuki-senpai. Natsuki knelt down and rubbed Naruto's head. Oh. Okay, Natsuki-senpai. Naruto had received all kinds of looks since he was a child, and he was vaguely aware of those who were sincere towards him. He is really happy now, having an adult who doesn't dislike him. Let's go, Sasuke. Let's go get something to eat first. Natsuki waved to Sasuke, who had his hands in his pockets to look cool. Humph, that's really troublesome. He said arrogantly, but Sasuke looked at Naruto's happy face and didn't say anything to refuse him. Natsuki raised his head and took a look, then led the two of them out of the woods. The Anbu standing on the tree looked at each other. Uchiha Natsuki, this is a famous person, now the deputy chief of the Uchiha clan. The entire Hokage system that was created before was in disgrace. Now he actually came close to the nine-tailed Jinchuriki. Report to the third Hokage immediately. Yes, Ichiraka Ramen House. The curtain opened and Natsuki came in with Sasuke and Naruto. There were no other customers in the store, just handmaid and Calamus. Uncle Yale. I'm here again, Naruto yelled as soon as he walked in. Sasuke turned his face away in embarrassment, pretending not to recognize Naruto. Uncle Ichiraku looked kind and said with a smile, Naruto, you are here. What do you want to eat today? Big. Under Natsuki's glare, Naruto swallowed back the word uncle. Natsuki-senpai, can I have tonkatsu ramen if I want to eat it? Naruto asked sheepishly. Natsuki was already studying the menu at this time, and Natsuki ran his fingers across the menu. He said, forget about the tonkatsu ramen. Isn't it possible? Naruto lowered his head in disappointment. Give Naruto a grand slam. Natsuki ordered the most expensive item of ramen. In addition to ramen, various kinds of steaks, chicken, eggs, barbecued pork, etc. are also added on top. It is the most luxurious ramen set. Oh! Long live Natsuki-senpai. Naruto had never eaten a grand slam before. The best thing he had ever eaten before was tonkatsu ramen. Natsuki looked at Naruto, whose face was filled with happiness because of the little food, and shook his head. Bring me a tonkatsu ramen, Sasuke, you can order whatever you want. At this time, Natsuki felt a wave of chakra sweep over his head. Xiaomu didn't raise his head. Was it the third generation's telescope technique? Hehe, you were not there when you were taking care of Naruto. If someone approached Naruto, you ran faster than anyone else. Chapter 25 Ungrateful Kakashi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bliss. Bliss. Naruto made a loud sucking sound, extremely happy. Natsuki ate a bowl of tonkatsu ramen. The soup was indeed delicious. Sasuke ordered some snacks to eat next to him. Just when Naruto was almost finished eating, the curtain opened. A ninja with a silver broomstick and a mask came in and sat in the corner. Boss, please give me a bowl of miso barbecued pork noodles. Natsuki turned his head and glanced at Kakashi. Tsk, are you so nervous? Even Kakashi has been sent here. Hiccup. Naruto burped and clasped his hands together. Thanks for the treat. The physique of the Uzumaki clan is truly incredible. The bowl of this grand slam ramen is twice as big as Naruto's head, and the ingredients inside are also full of sincerity. Even I had to eat a lot of time, but I didn't expect that Naruto had already eaten all the food. Naruto is only 5 years old now. Naruto likes to eat ramen. On the one hand, the ramen here is delicious, and on the other hand, Tate and Eri are the few people who don't discriminate against him. Also, the ramen here is extremely cheap. The most Naruto can do is eat this. Naruto, are you full? Natsuki asked with a smile. Hey, Natsuki-senpai, I'm full. Naruto touched his belly and had never felt so happy. Naruto, I heard from Sasuke that you are often mischievous. He asked. Sasuke was full of questions. I just saw you today, why did you just listen to me? But Natsuki's look made Sasuke shut his mouth. Ha ha ha. Naruto scratched his head in embarrassment. After all, he couldn't tell Natsuki that it was a prank he did to attract others' attention. I'm sorry, Natsuki-senpai, I won't be naughty anymore. Xiaomu did not blame him, but beckoned Akaris over. Excuse me, please pay. Xiaomu directly took out 21,000 tael bills and handed them to Changpu. Calamus waved his hands repeatedly. We only need 320 taels in total. Ichiraku ramen is very cheap. In addition to the Grand Slam 200 ramen, Natsuki and Sasuke's are only 60 ryo. Natsuki waved his hand. There is a lot of money here. Whenever Naruto and Sasuke come here in the future, they can eat as they please, and what they spend will be deducted from this. Is this, okay? Calamus turned his head and found Shoda nodded with a smile on his face before taking the money. Naruto, I saved some money here. You and Sasuke can come here to eat whatever you want. Senior Natsuki, how is this allowed? I can't ask for your money. Naruto was shocked. Natsuki had a look on his face. Who gave you money? You are Sasuke's friend. Are you and Sasuke coming here to eat while Sasuke is eating and you are watching? The ninja school will start soon. You and Sasuke will have classes every day. It will be more convenient to eat here in the future. This. Naruto's little mind felt that there was something wrong here, but he couldn't tell. Natsuki put on a smile again. Sasuke doesn't have many friends, so I ask you to play with him often. Also, don't make trouble everywhere, and study hard when you go to school. Oh. Okay. I will often play with Sasuke in the future. I will study hard. Naruto was not prepared to think about things he couldn't figure out. This was the first time someone asked him for help. He felt endless motivation and felt warm and happy in his heart. Sasuke curled his lips next to him. Who wants him to come to play with me, huh? Natsuki was used to Sasuke's arrogance. He shook his head and took the two children out. Kakashi also quickly finished his noodles and chased him out. Follow Shamu and the others along the road. The third Hokage had just called him back urgently and asked him to come over and see why Natsuki was so kind to Naruto for no reason, and what his intentions and purposes were. As a result, Natsuki took Naruto to finish the ramen and then took him to Konoha 8th Streets. This street is full of Uchiha shops. Konoha 8th Street is now the most prosperous street because the remaining Uchiha security forces are patrolling nearby. Everyone who saw Xiaomu came over respectfully and saluted, Master Xiaomu. Xiaomu waved them away one by one. At this time, Natsuki walked to the corner of the street and felt that Kakashi and the others were getting anxious, and the number of ANBU was increasing. Natsuki doesn't want to conflict with ANBU yet. He took out a wad of money from his pocket and gave it to Sasuke. Sasuke, you haven't been back for so long. Go buy some new clothes on the street. Well, buy 2 more sets. Also buy 2 sets with your good friend Naruto. I have something to take care of. I'll come back later. He said and gave Sasuke a look. Sasuke rolled his eyes, not sure whether he understood or not. Natsuki walked out of the street and gave an order to the Uchiha next to him. Umbu will come over to see Naruto in a while, so you don't have to worry about it. Yes. Uchiha from the security team saluted. After Natsuki walked for a while, he said to behind him, come out, Kakashi. Kakashi appeared. Deputy Chief Uchiha Natsuki, do you know me? What is your purpose in approaching Naruto? Natsuki looked at Kakashi from beginning to end. Kakashi was still dressed as an ANBU without a mask. The forehead protector was pulled down to cover his left eye. The exposed eyes were lifeless and lifeless. Natsuki thought of Naruto's miserable days and felt disgusted with Kakashi, and suddenly teleported in front of Kakashi. Kakashi was kicked to the ground. Kakashi didn't expect Natsuki to attack him suddenly, and was kicked to the ground without warning. Xiaomu spat next to him. It's great. Kakashi stood up with an angry look on his face. Natsuki. Why did you attack me? Kakashi is very restrained. He is afraid that Natsuki is deliberately tempting him to attack, and Uchiha's relationship with the village is very sensitive now. Xiaomu looked sarcastic. Why did I attack you? Because you are ungrateful and cruel, admit it. Xiaomu curled his lips and swallowed the last words. Me? Ungrateful? Kakashi asked with a question on his face. I don't even know you, how can I be so ungrateful? Natsuki touched his chin, looking at Kakashi from top to bottom, and then from bottom to top. What the hell is this? This is Hitachi Tsukumo's son. Aren't you a disciple of Namake's Minato? So what? This is not a secret, everyone in the Uchiha clan knows it. Do you remember that you are a disciple of Namake's Minato? Natsuki said with a strange look on his face. His orphan is bullied every day and eats expired food. Are you blind and can't see it? Kakashi was silent for a while. It's the 3rd generation's order, Naruto. Ouch, shit, don't tell me that his identity cannot be leaked. Xiaomu said impatiently, does this have anything to do with him eating junk food and expired food every day? You've grown so big, you don't have much decent clothes, you don't have enough food and clothing, and you don't have enough warmth. The 3rd generation really knows how to take care of the 4th generation's orphans. You really take care of your master's son. Seeing the 3rd generation occupying your master's property, seeing Naruto starving and suffering, eating expired milk, and lunches mixed with sand. You are indifferent, right? You are the only one who returns the favor to the Hitachi family. You really make me sick. Kakashi was speechless. He really had nothing to say. Since Obito's death, he had been extremely decadent and lived a life like a walking zombie every day. Every day he just performs tasks mechanically, and he doesn't even take good care of himself, let alone Naruto. Sendai said that he would do whatever needed to be done, without thinking. Kakashi cheered up, that's not the reason for you to approach Naruto. Natsuki waved his hand. Sister Kushina helped me when she was a child. I just asked Naruto to eat well and dress well. You think too much. I am not as dirty as you. It doesn't matter how you monitor me. Kakashi relaxed completely, his expression a little complicated. Natsuki clasped his hands behind his head and walked towards 8th Street leisurely, but if Naruto feels that Uchiha treats him better in the future, that is Naruto's business. Kakashi was shocked. Chapter 26 The third generation is anxious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Here, get me 2. Bring me 2 of these too. Take 2 of these and wrap them separately. When Natsuki returned to 8th Street, Sasuke was buying clothes in a clothing store. Seeing that Naruto already had several bags in his hands, they contained shoes, pants, etc. Sasuke waved the money and ordered the clerk to run around. As an Uchiha shop, it was naturally impossible not to know Sasuke, the young patriarch. The service is extremely attentive, not to mention Sasuke is generous, never bargaining on price, and just buys whatever he likes. Bang! Natsuki hit Sasuke on the head. Ouch! You kid, how can you buy things like this? Sasuke curled his lips in dissatisfaction, then happily handed the thing to Naruto, and started chirping with Naruto. It's not that Natsuki is worried about money, the Uchiha family has a great business and they can't afford it no matter how much clothes they buy, but Sasuke must not develop the bad habit of bossing around. Naruto looked at the various items of clothing with excitement, which he would never dare to think about. But he was also a little embarrassed. Senior Natsuki, these. Natsuki waved his hand. You are Sasuke's friend, don't say anything else. Naruto's eyes were all sparkling, and he nodded heavily. Hello, Natsuki-sama. In addition to the clerk, there were 2 Uchihas from the security team standing next to him. I think you 2 are too busy. The 2 Uchiha smiled awkwardly. Sasuke and Naruto, whose status is not special, how could they not leave anyone to watch? Xiaomu also saw it. He looked at it and saw that it was already getting late. There were also several ANBU standing at the rooftop corners of the street. It's getting late, Sasuke, come home with me. Naruto, you go back early too. Oh, can I come and play with Sasuke tomorrow? Naruto asked expectantly. Sasuke has something to do these 2 days, so he can't come out to play. Naruto was a little unhappy to see him. Xiaomu smiled and said, school will start in 2 days, so we'll see you soon. Hee, yes, school is about to start. Seeing Naruto giggle. Remember to wear new clothes to report, it is a new beginning. Yeah. Naruto felt that this was the happiest day he had lived in so many years. Natsuki waved to the side. Uchiha Kenichi, take Naruto home. Yes. Uchiha Kenichi stood upright. Natsuki-senpai, no one needs to see me off, I can find a way home. Naruto said sheepishly. Natsuki rubbed Naruto's head, be obedient. Go back. Oh, hee. Naruto giggled again and held the clothes in his arms. Uchiha Kenichi wanted to take Naruto's things, but Naruto was unwilling. Then I'm leaving, Natsuki-senpai. I'm leaving, Sasuke. See you at school. Naruto carried a lot of things and waved hard. Xiaomu waved his hand, go ahead. Sasuke also waved to Naruto. He had never seen Naruto look so happy. Let's go back. Uchiha Natsuki said that Uzumaki Kushina was kind to her. He just wanted Naruto to eat well and dress well. Let Naruto and Sasuke be good friends. According to ANBU's surveillance along the way, Natsuki had no other words or actions. Sandai took a drag on his cigarette in frustration. He simply didn't believe that Xiaomu would be so kind. As for Kushina being kind to him, this happened many years ago, who knows whether it is true or not. Kakashi hesitated and said, Natsuki finally said that in the future, Naruto thinks Uchiha is better. That is Naruto's business. The third generation frowned and thought. Now the Uchiha as a whole have become alienated from Konoha village. According to the statistics of the mission center, the number of Uchiha missions has dropped off a cliff. In addition to the fact that there are fewer Uchiha ninjas, the remaining Uchiha are also very conservative when taking on tasks. We have collectively lowered our levels and will not do any dangerous tasks, ask for leave if you have any compulsory tasks, but Sandai has nothing to do as others have to repair their own houses, there is no place to stay, so I will do something for you. Now Natsuki's sudden contact with the nine-tailed Jinchuriki has made the third generation highly alert. Is the Uchiha preparing to collectively rebel against the village, or even abduct Naruto? Lord Hokage, Naruto has been through some hardships these past few years. Kakashi couldn't help but say as he saw the third generation pondering. Sandai took a puff of cigarette and asked, Kakashi, are you blaming me, an old man, for not taking good care of Naruto? Although Sandai's tone was not harsh, but Kakashi still bowed and apologized. It's nothing, the third generation must have your own concerns. The third generation nodded. Kakashi still had to stay calm. He explained to Kakashi earnestly, Kakashi, you don't know something. When the fourth generation passed away, everything was left to be reborn. There are many ambitious people in the village who have different opinions on the handling of the Jinchuriki, and some even want we are going to imprison Naruto. I also fought in many ways to prevent Naruto from being locked up forever. But some people leaked the fact that Naruto is a Jinchuriki. I can only spread that he is the son of a demon fox to confuse the public. Many villagers had family members killed during the Ninetales rebellion, so he was always targeted. As for his identity as the Yondame's son, outsiders must not know it, because the son of a Kage is also a Jinchuriki and can easily be coveted. But over the years, I have often visited him to make up for the shortcomings over the years. The third Hokage also spoke in a sad tone. Kakashi couldn't help but feel guilty when he heard that the third generation still had so many difficulties. I'm very sorry, third generation, I don't understand the inside story and I came to question you. Sandai waved his hands pretending to understand. Since Naruto is your master's son, I understand that you care about him. Well, Naruto's life was really hard in the past. Now it's unclear why Uchiha is close to Naruto. You can take care of Naruto for a long time in the future. Except when Naruto is in school, you should follow him to prevent Uchiha Natsuki from plotting anything. With you watching, I feel at ease. Kakashi was overjoyed. After hearing what Natsuki said, he felt uneasy. Now you can take care of Naruto nearby, and Naruto will not be bullied in the future. Then, third generation, am I secretly protecting you? Sandai thought for a while. You can find an opportunity to get in touch with him, and it's best to be Naruto's teacher. Thank you, Lord Third. Kakashi thought it was the third Hokage who took care of him and arranged such a job with him. Go down. After Kakashi went down, the third generation sighed and asked Kakashi to look at Naruto as a last resort. After all, Uchiha approached Naruto in this way. If he didn't send someone to watch, Naruto might really be abducted. In addition to Kakashi, who is a standard supporter of the Hokage system, he is also very capable and has a suitable identity, so he is the best candidate. Chapter 27 Uchiha Number 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although Naruto kept chattering along the way, Kenichi remained silent, only nodding occasionally. It wasn't that he was aloof. The Uchiha who had a bad temper before almost followed Itachi out of Konoha. Kenichi is actually a moderate dove Uchiha. The reason why he doesn't speak is because there are always Umbu looking around, and he doesn't want to cause any trouble for Uchiha. After all, Naruto is the Ninetales Jinchuriki. After confirming that Naruto was sent home, Uchiha Kenichi left Naruto's home under the supervision of Anbu. Goodbye, Uncle Kenichi. Naruto waved behind Kenichi. Although Uchiha Kenichi didn't speak on the road, he didn't show any discriminatory eyes towards him. This already made the lonely and sensitive Naruto very happy. Uchiha Kenichi did not look back, and Naruto waited until Kenichi had gone far before entering the house. But when he was in the entrance hall, Naruto turned on the light. Dirty clothes and smelly socks are scattered everywhere in the house, and there are unwashed dishes in the sink. The ground is also messy and there is a lot of garbage. Naruto looked at his home, and then at the clothes and shoes in the brand new packages. The environment I was accustomed to before suddenly feels so dirty now. Naruto carefully hung the items and packaging on the hook, then he rolled up his sleeves, fetched water and started to tidy up the house. The house was brightly lit at night, and Naruto was full of energy. The ANBU outside the room looked at each other, wondering why Naruto was having such a fit in the middle of the night, but as long as Naruto doesn't run around, they don't worry about what Naruto is doing, they can just report it. The child's mood changed quickly. Sasuke, who was in a good mood before, stopped smiling again when he followed Natsuki to the original site of the original tribe. And the new tribe has to pass through this place and walk several miles to reach it. Sasuke had too many questions in his little head that he wanted to ask his father. Unconsciously, he quickened his pace. Natsuki was thinking about Kakashi, who was undoubtedly extremely talented. However, he was also brainwashed by the so-called will of fire. As a member of a famous family, he has been depressed after the Battle of Kanobi Bridge and wasted his talent. Equipped with the Sharingan, although it greatly increased his combat power, it also limited the height he could reach. If it cannot be turned off for a long time, it will consume mana. Since you can copy all the way, you can naturally be lazy and lazy. Soy sauce was played from the beginning to the end, and in the end I just experienced Obito's twin divine powers. Other times it has always been optional. His character can be said to be indecisive. Obito killed countless people, including his master and his wife, destroying the ninja world and destroying countless families. The first time Kakashi was in the Kamui space, he was also in trouble. The butt determines the head, and because it's Obito, he can't do anything. If he had been ruthless, the story might have gone differently. Being kind to Naruto was a kind of investment by Natsuki, but he did feel that the young Naruto was really the worst. A lot of pain should not be endured, and there is no need to endure a lot of suffering. The dirty politics between the third generation and Danzo had to affect a child, and praising suffering is more vicious than the suffering itself. If Naruto can be surrounded by love, there will be no problem with the Nine Tails losing control. Didn't you see the kid next door playing in the sand and you were driven crazy? Naruto's childhood was not as easy as Gaara's. Although he would not be assassinated, the discrimination from every villager was a ruthless sharp knife. Fortunately, Naruto is the reincarnation of Asura, otherwise he would turn black and destroy Konoha first. Father, I'm back. Natsuki took Sasuke back to his new clan. The new clan territory is littered with unfinished buildings, but Shemu didn't have the habit of exploiting workers and asked them to get off work at a certain time. After all, working overtime costs more money, and as long as the current Uchiha can live there. Fugaku had already received the news that Sasuke was back, and he was sitting in the room drinking tea. Seeing Sasuke come in, he also showed a rare smile. You're back. How are you getting along with your teacher Xiaomu? Natsuki also followed Sasuke's footsteps and entered the house. Teacher? Sasuke looked confused, because Natsuki didn't mention asking Sasuke to become his disciple. Fugaku frowned. Natsuki, didn't you tell Sasuke? Xiaomu laughed. It's getting late. Let's take him back first. We'll talk about the apprenticeship tomorrow. I'm leaving. Natsuki handed Sasuke to Fugaku and left slowly. After Natsuki and Fugaku got acquainted, they became more and more casual and did not pay much attention to etiquette, because he knew that Fugaku was only sullen because of work needs. In fact, Fugaku was also a realist. Father, why did my brother and brother Shisui leave Konoha village? Some people say they rebelled against the village. Why was our Uchiha tribe destroyed? Why did you resign and not become the guard captain? As soon as Sasuke sat down, he couldn't wait to ask his father, a string of questions coming out of his mouth like a string of questions. He had only been out of the village for half a month, but when he came back, the entire Uchiha had changed. Fugaku always had a habit of keeping a cold face and showing dignity in front of his son, but as Natsuki said before, this is of no use at all. It would only make Itachi and Sasuke alienate from him. Thinking that they were all at home, the expression on his face softened a little. Your brother and Shisui are just looking for development for us Uchiha. Don't just believe what others say. If Itachi and Shisui rebelled against the village, why didn't Konoha arrest us? If the clan land is destroyed, we can just build it again. As long as we Uchiha have people here, we can build as much clan land as we want. I saw Sasuke nodding in understanding. Fugaku also showed a smile. As for the guard captain, because you are too busy being a guard team, did you always say that there was no one to practice ninjutsu with you? Now that your brother won't be back soon, I will be with you. Sasuke was a little surprised when he heard this. In the past, his father always spoke little and was very dignified. He had to suffer a lot in order to get his father's approval. Now his father actually said that he would practice ninjutsu with him. Sasuke pinched himself to make sure he wasn't under a genjutsu. Ouch! Sasuke pinched himself hard. It made Fugaku laugh out loud. This was the first time that Sasuke saw such a talkative father. A smile appeared on his face unconsciously. Then when will father, brother and brother Jisue come back? After you graduate from ninja school, your brother will come back. Huh? It will take so long. Sasuke looked unhappy. Ninja school lasted for 6 years, in other words, I won't see my brother for 6 years, which is too long. Fugaku saw that his son was a little depressed. You are from the Uchiha family. Does the smallest thing make you depressed? It's not like you can't see him anymore. Yeah. Sasuke cheered up after hearing this. Then father, what apprenticeship are you talking about? Fugaku said, I intend for you to become a disciple of Natsuki. Apprenticeship? Sasuke tilted his head. He didn't hate Natsuki. Is Natsuki-senpai strong? Strong. Fugaku chewed the word. Very strong. Fugaku nodded affirmatively. Is that better than brother Shisui? In Sasuke's eyes, his brothers Itachi and Shisui are the strongest in Uchiha. Natsuki is the #1 expert in Uchiha right now. In Fugaku's view, Natsuki is already the strongest Uchiha in terms of brains. In terms of skill, the previous Natsuki was not bad. After opening the Mangekyo Sharingan, he will enter a period of rapid development. Even Shisui is a kaleidoscope, but he is so much younger than Natsuki, so he will definitely not be able to defeat him. The #1 Uchiha. The amiable Natsuki-senpai in Sasuke's mind suddenly had a halo around him. I think Natsuki-senpai should be the second Uchiha. Oh. Fugaku asked curiously, then who is #1? Sasuke said of course it's father, otherwise why is father the clan leader and Natsuki-senpai the deputy clan leader? Fugaku was stunned for a moment, then burst into laughter. The laughter spread far and wide. Chapter 28 Sasuke becomes a disciple. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After doing housework all night, Naruto finally fell asleep tiredly before dawn. In a daze he had a dream. In the dream, he had his father and mother, and Natsuki-senpai. Then they all turned into big bowls of Ichiraku ramen. Naruto reached forward and grabbed it. Ouch! Naruto fell completely under the bed. Naruto rubbed his sleepy eyes and prepared to wash up. There was a figure standing in his house in his blurred vision. Wow! Naruto screamed. Only then did he realize that the person standing was the third Hokage. Grandpa, the third Hokage, why are you here? Naruto, I came to see you. I heard that you made a new friend yesterday. The third generation said with a kind face. Hey, we can be considered friends. Third generation grandfather, you are talking about Natsuki-senpai. That is Sasuke's clan. Please play with Sasuke more. He is as good as Grandpa the third Hokage. He took me to eat Ichiraku ramen and asked Sasuke to buy me a lot of clothes. Naruto was eager to share the joy with his close third-generation grandfather, and the third-generation Hokage also listened patiently. The third Hokage smiled kindly. Then what did your Natsuki-senpai say to you? Oh. Natsuki-senpai asked me to get along well with Sasuke and not to be naughty. Naruto slapped his head. Grandpa, the third Hokage, come and take a look. As he said this, he took out the clothes Sasuke picked out yesterday, making signs on his body. Does it look good? Yeah, it looks good. After the third Hokage found out that Natsuki had not instilled anything into Naruto, he felt relieved and chatted with Naruto for a while. Afterwards, the third Hokage took out 5,000 taels and gave it to Naruto. Naruto, you have grown up. You will go to class tomorrow. You must obey the teacher in school from now on. You can use this 5,000 taels for daily life. Naruto took the money with some confusion. Grandpa, the third Hokage, why did you give me so much money? The third generation smiled gently and said, when you go to the ninja school, you have to buy all kinds of ninja tools. They all cost money. Don't spend them indiscriminately. Naruto was deeply moved. Thank you, Grandpa Third Hokage. When I grow up, I will definitely repay you. Ha ha ha, remember what you said, report in early tomorrow, I have to go. Okay. Hee hee. Life suddenly became happy, this made Naruto giggle unconsciously. Uchiha clan. I'll offer tea to your teacher. Sasuke didn't have a specific idea about apprenticeship, but he didn't hate Natsuki, so at Fugaku's urging, I became a disciple of Natsuki today. Originally, Fugaku was going to invite some friends over, but Natsuki, who didn't like vulgar etiquette, refused. In his words, drinking a cup of tea is like becoming a disciple, it all depends on Sasuke how much he learns. After drinking tea with Natsuki, Fugaku left quickly. Although there is no need to worry about the security team, the clan has been destroyed, and now Uchiha is in ruins. Fugaku spends most of his time arranging the reconstruction of the clan. Of course, this is all superficial work. More of Fugaku's work is to send people to quietly recruit some business talents, which will be beneficial to future development. Ding. Congratulations to the host for greatly changing Uchiha Sasuke's life. Congratulations to the host for getting Space Teleportation X1. Space Teleportation. It seems that Sasuke has the pupil technique behind the Rinnegan, just use it once if it can be useful. No matter how many times Shemu complained, the system still didn't respond. We can only wait until this stage of the system is completed to see if any new functions are unlocked. After Fugaku left, it was Sasuke and Natsuki who stared at each other. Teacher, what are you going to teach me today? Natsuki scratched his head. He had never thought about how to teach Sasuke, and he had no specific rules, but Sasuke will have to go to school from now on, so for basics, it's better to study in school. The best he can do is give Sasuke a small start, let Sasuke grow up faster. Also, get rid of the habit of pretending. Natsuki coughed. Sasuke, since you call me teacher, I will officially teach you from now on. Yes. Teacher. Sasuke sat upright. Xiaomu waved his hand. I don't like the rigid way of getting along, so there's no need to be like this. Just treat me as a friend. Okay, teacher. Sasuke's face relaxed and his body changed into a less serious sitting position. Xiaomu said, now the teacher will test you. Sasuke said with a cool face, teacher, just take the test, I'm very good. Natsuki led Sasuke to the empty courtyard. Okay, Sasuke, attack me now. Use everything you know, whether it's shuriken, kunai, or fire escape. Attack me with the determination to kill me. Sasuke knew early in the morning that there would be a teaching session today, so he prepared his ninja kit early. Teacher, I'm here. Sasuke lowered his body, took out his shuriken, and assumed a decent fighting posture. Natsuki waved his hand. Signaling Zwa to assist, Sasuke threw 2 shurikens, which were quite accurate. Natsuki stood there without moving, but after the shuriken flew over, he tilted his neck and let the shuriken fly over. Seeing that the shuriken didn't work, Sasuke rushed up and performed a complete set of radio gymnastics. Oh no, it should be said to be Uchiha fluid technique. Natsuki casually used one hand to block, completely blocking Sasuke's attack. Otherwise speaking, Uchiha fluid techniques are all born to show off their skills. Because of the Sharingan, the Uchiha clan's body coordination is very good, coupled with the observation eye, the Uchiha can fight as gracefully as dancing on the tip of a knife. But now Sasuke is too young, his physical condition is too poor, and he has not opened his eyes. In Natsuki's opinion, it's just like broadcast gymnastics. Many of the gorgeous kicks and somersaults are too flawed. He casually punched Sasuke in the stomach. Sasuke was hit so hard that he took a few steps back, knelt on the ground and spat out a mouthful of saliva before he recovered. It's not even close, Sasuke. Natsuki said lightly, but it aroused Sasuke's desire to win. Sasuke stretched out his hand to form a seal. Si, Wei, Shen, Hai, Wu, In, Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. Sasuke puffed up his chest, and a surge of fire erupted. The vision in front of him was blazing red, but Sasuke hadn't finished blowing yet. This was something his father had praised, and Sasuke wasn't finished with his thoughts yet. Natsuki had already bypassed the wall of fire and hit Sasuke on the neck with a single strike of his sword. Cough 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 cough. Sasuke was blowing the big fireball vigorously, but he was hit on the neck all of a sudden. He almost lost his breath and coughed for a while before he recovered. Xiaomu looked at him with his hands folded. Teacher. Sasuke was a little nervous, not knowing what the teacher thought of him. Xiaomu thought for a while and decided to be stricter. Under Sasuke's anxious gaze, Natsuki's face turned cold. It's a complete mess. Sasuke, have you learned this before? Why is Itachi teaching you and playing ninja games with you? Who told you to use fire to escape like this? What were you doing just now? Set fire to escape and use it as fireworks. I'm sorry, teacher. Sasuke lowered his head in frustration. Although he does not expect to defeat the teacher, but he also wanted the teacher to recognize his strength, but he didn't expect the teacher to say he was worthless. Do you know where you lost? Xiaomu asked. Sasuke opened his mouth, but lowered his head. Chapter 29 Control. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Natsuki saw Sasuke's appearance, he didn't immediately explain. Instead, he waved. An Uchiha clan member immediately entered the outer courtyard. Find one of our Uchiha genin, the younger the better. Natsuki ordered. Yes. After a while, an Uchiha genin came to report. He is a small genin who just graduated last year. What's your name? Have you opened your eyes? Xiaomu asked. Although the information was on the force template, there were many Uchiha people, so he didn't bother to look for it. The visitor looked calm. Back to Sir Natsuki. My name is Koda. I haven't opened my eyes yet. Xiaomu nodded. You attack me now, use all means. Uchiha Kotechi didn't say much, but quickly got into a fighting stance. Sasuke, watch carefully. Natsuki reminded, then waved his hand to signal Kodai to come over. Koda quickly moved left and right, then took out the shuriken from his bag and threw it out. As a genin, his strength and accuracy were very good. Natsuki also earnestly dodged to the side, and when Natsuki was dodging, Kotai quickly formed a seal and released a powerful fireball technique in the direction of Natsuki's evasion. Natsuki's movements were very fast and he dodged the fireball again. Koda gave up the go fireball technique, dodged Natsuki's hand knife, and kicked Natsuki quickly. Although Natsuki was still very easy to pick and play, he still allowed Kotai to attack for one round. When Hang Tai kicked his leg in the air, he kicked Hang Tai out. Okay, let's go down. Don't do so many physical movements before opening your eyes. Xiaomu said calmly. Yes. Thank you, sir. Hang Tai said happily and didn't ask any more questions. Do you understand, Sasuke? Is the teacher saying I move too much? State. Natsuki hit Sasuke on the head again. Wrong. Sasuke rubbed his head. Your fault is not that you have too many taijutsu moves, nor that you throw the shuriken poorly, nor that you use the powerful fireball poorly. It's your lack of control over it. Control. Sasuke raised his head. Yes, it's not a disadvantage that our Uchiha style has many taijutsu moves. Having more moves can make our attack methods more varied. Fists, feet, elbows, shoulders, knees, etc. These places can all be the places where we attack. Our Uchiha fluid arts can be as graceful and gorgeous as dancing on swords. But there is a prerequisite for this, and that is the Sharingan. Sharingan. Without the assistance of Sharingan, you cannot keep up with the opponent's speed and cannot adjust your taijutsu in time. Then the movements of Uchiha-style taijutsu are redundant. Oh. Sasuke suddenly realized that when he was learning the Uchiha fluid technique, Itachi praised him because Itachi had the Sharingan, but if I still use these actions without the Sharingan, I have absolutely no control over them. Your shuriken is very accurate, but you have to know that your enemy is not a target that just stands still. Just throwing the shuriken is useless. You also need to predict the enemy's hiding position. If you can't predict the enemy's reaction, then what's the purpose of throwing your shuriken? Do you want the enemy to stand still and be killed by your shuriken? Your brother Itachi's shurikens are quite famous. He can change the landing point of the shurikens by colliding with each other in the middle of their flight. When you were performing the arrogant fireball technique, you couldn't see where your enemy was at all, and you didn't even know to interrupt the technique when the enemy was in front of you. Will the enemy wait until you finish using the ninjutsu before hitting you? The fireball doesn't need to be set too big, it just needs to be set for a long time. It's about controlling the time and opportunity to release it. Yeah. Sasuke kept nodding. The more he listened, the more it made sense. Fighting and training are two completely different things. It turns out that before, my brother was really just playing games with me. Whenever you throw a shuriken, which way will the enemy dodge? You should continue to use the shuriken to create opportunities for yourself, or use fire escape to force the opponent into your trap. You need to figure out one thing. Xiaomu raised a finger. The powerful fireball technique that everyone in Uchiha knows is usually only used to compress the enemy's position, or to use flames to cover one's body and attack. There are very few ninjas who have truly died due to the Go fireball jutsu. Yes, teacher. I understand. Sasuke now knew that he still had a lot to learn. Natsuki stretched out his hand and tapped Sasuke's forehead. You can't control your own power at all now. When you can use ninjutsu and shoot shuriken at moving targets, I will teach you again. Also, you are not allowed to use Uchiha fluid technique before opening. I understand, teacher. Why are you tapping my forehead like your brother? Sasuke muttered. On the contrary, the relationship with Xiaomu has become much closer. Mastering all the skills you know is a required course for a strong person. Sasuke, you want to become a strong man. Then every time you learn a skill, you must fully master it before you can use it to fight. Otherwise, you will most likely be killed by yourself. Is teacher, not looking at Sasuke, who is now well behaved and obedient. Natsuki still likes him very much, no matter how much Sasuke can remember what he said, as long as he is no longer so arrogant and more down to earth, his achievements will only be higher. Okay, school starts tomorrow. You go and get ready. You are almost 6 years old, and your brother graduated from the ninja school when he was 7. Don't worry, teacher, I'm Itachi's younger brother. I will definitely be able to graduate early. Sasuke's face was full of confidence. Xiaomu waved his hand. Itachi graduated early because of environmental reasons, and there was a shortage of people on the battlefield. Basically, anyone who can throw a shuriken or use a substitute technique will go to the battlefield, let alone a genius like Itachi. Ninja school is a good place to lay the foundation. You also need to learn to get along with others in school. Being able to communicate well with your peers is also what you need to learn. You get first place in ninja school, then consider graduating early. Teacher, I will definitely get first place. Sasuke said firmly. The border of the Fire Nation, Uchiha and his party, who have been living and dining all the way, are finally about to enter the country of fields. Everyone was very tired along the way. Itachi decided to rest first before entering Tian country. Many Uchiha quickly took out sleeping items from the storage scrolls and set up tents. Use water escape to get water and fire escape to make fire. If you are quick, go to the surrounding area to hunt for prey and come back. Others gathered wood to prepare cooking utensils. Everything went smoothly. After a while, several team members shot a deer and a wild boar, which were enough to eat. Itachi took out the plan that Natsuki gave him before and was reading it. Shisui sat next to Itachi. Itachi raised his head and asked, "Has your eye power recovered?" Shisui nodded. "It's the first time I've used another god against so many people. I thought the power of both eyes would be exhausted, but now there's only one left. Senior Natsuki should have made a plan. Your remaining gods will be used here." Shisui saw a familiar name in the direction Itachi was pointing, Orochimaru. Chapter 30 Stage Tasks and Long-Term Tasks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Konoha School has started. This year's Konoha School attracted special attention, because the heirs of the major ninja clans basically enter the school during this semester. The most eye-catching one is Naruto Sasuke, not to mention the Ninetales Jinchuriki, but Uchiha, who is now inseparable from the Leaf Village, actually sent Sasuke to school. Moreover, it was delivered by Uchiha Deputy Clan Natsuki himself. The meaning represented by this may have other meanings. Is it a sign of goodwill from the Uchiha clan? Although Niji is one level older, He is very close to Sasuke and Naruto, because Naruto started to get in touch with Natsuki. He now had an elder who cared about him, and with Sasuke and Neji as friends, he had much less time to be naughty and mischievous. I no longer deliberately do pranks to make people disgusted. Those who can enter the ninja school, whether they are commoners or nobles, have an idea of the identities of Sasuke and Neji. Naruto was protected by his friends from the two major pupil families, so no one dared to cause trouble. Naruto is better than the original world. After a long journey, the Kumogakure delegation finally arrived at Konoha village. After many consultations and negotiations, all the terms were finally finalized and a peace agreement was officially signed. For this reason, Konoha village also held a large-scale peace celebration. The villagers of Konoha may not like Kumogakure, but none of them like war. Many villagers joined in the celebration. Several commercial streets in Konoha are even more bustling and overcrowded, and Yunin's mission, under the guise of the celebration, went around to search for information, but a surprising fact was discovered, that is the current Uchiha, who have all retreated into their own clan. All the people responsible for security patrols were replaced by members of the Hyuga clan. On the other hand, the Hinata family's defense has become much looser. After Yakido compiled all the information, he couldn't help but feel relieved. He took out a patrol map of the Hinata family and looked at it carefully. Kumogakure spent a lot of money to get it. Nagasaki Shinichi, have you thought about it? Maybe it would be better if someone else does it. Yakido asked with some regret. Sir, all three of my brothers died in the war. Now, I only have one thought left, which is revenge. Whether we succeed or fail, we all reap the benefits. Nagasaki Shinichi's eyes were now empty, and his whole body revealed a sense of death. Yakido, why don't you go out and have fun? The celebration is particularly fun. Yo, you guy, stupid guy. With a nondescript tone, Kurabi walked in. He was considered the leader of the entire mission. He had just walked around Konoha a few times, and Konoha had sent several advisors and elders to accompany him. Yakido, Kurabi, stop playing around and prepare yourself. Your strength may be needed tomorrow. Kurabi stopped laughing and clenched his fists vigorously. The excitement of Konoha village has nothing to do with Natsuki. He had no interest in this kind of excitement, and after a period of hard work, Uchiha's new clan land was built. The moment the clan land was built, ding. The first stage of development tasks, leaving Konoha, and independent self-improvement is completed. The host acquires knowledge related to Konoha-style sealing techniques. A lot of knowledge about sealing arts came to mind one by one. Xiaomu's spirit was shaken. This solved an urgent need. In addition to the more famous sealing technique of the four symbols and bagua, there is another particularly important sealing technique, that is the defensive detection barrier technique, which also uses the sealing technique. This was exactly what Uchiha, who didn't have the ability to detect the barrier technique, needed urgently. It only needs to be marked with barrier spells on various points, and then it can be activated with chakra. The defensive detection barrier technique allows outsiders to respond when they enter the range. Without this technique, it would be extremely easy for enemies to sneak into such a large area as Konoha village. According to the current size of the Uchiha clan, about 3 people can cover it in one round. Now I am no longer afraid of the prying eyes of Konoha village. In the past, the third Hokage built a high-rise building near the Uchiha clan and monitored it openly. Now that there are no high-rise buildings after moving out, he used ANBU to monitor secretly. Xiaomu has been unhappy for a long time, but it's not easy to catch these mosquitoes every day. Now, Konoha's nails have to be pulled out one by one. Natsuki quickly found 3 suitable people, Uchiha Chiming, Uchiha Yori, and Uchiha Daichi. They are all talents with sealing skills in their talents. Chiming is Shemu's former teammate. Although his combat effectiveness is not high, he is very capable. His older brother, Yao Yi, who was making a fuss and had a bad mind, had already followed Itachi and ran away. The other 2 are his new teammates, and they have been getting along well recently. Because Itachi took away more than half of the people, many clan members were reorganized into teams, using this as an excuse. Natsuki asked all Uchiha clan members to choose safer ones when choosing tasks. He was just worried that the third generation would cause trouble on the mission and deliberately let Uchiha die. Fortunately, the third generation didn't mess with this, and there haven't been any accidents recently. Ding. For a long-term mission, how can one force only have the strong ones of its own clan? Recruiting non-Uchiha elites. Acquire the target specialty after success. Oops, this system finally has a new function. Shimu waited until the flowers withered. But the target specialty? What's the meaning? Xiaomu had a vague guess in her heart and needed to experiment. For non-Uchiha, the best place to attack is Konoha. After all, the tower near the water should be summed up first. While thinking about it, Chiming, Iji and Dottie have arrived. Chiming has a baby face and a thin body. He has a flexible mind and precise ninjutsu. Like Izumi, Iori is a rare medical ninja among Uchiha. He has long, silky hair and a tall figure. Very perceptive, Daichi is a standard hexagonal warrior with basically no shortcomings and is very strong in ninjutsu and physical skills. Captain. Lord Natsuki. Deputy Chief. The names of the three people were all strange, because Xiaomu took over the position of deputy clan for a long time too quickly, and many people didn't get used to it. Xiaomu nodded. I called you here today because I have something for you. Captain, please give me your orders. The one who spoke was Uchiha Chiming, and he and Natsuki were the most familiar. In the past, when our tribe was still in Konoha village, in order to monitor us, Konoha built high towers around it unscrupulously. We as a whole Uchiha have no privacy at all. Now that we Uchiha have left the old location and moved to a new place, there are still many ANBU surveillance around us. Next, we Uchiha will also build a defensive detection barrier, and you are the people I choose. Several Uchiha looked at each other. Not everyone can use the defensive detection barrier technique. The defensive detection barrier technique requires two items, deployment and use. If used, 3 people will be fine, but to arrange it, you need the barrier technique, and this barrier technique is the secret technique of Konoha village, and Uchiha does not have it, but since the deputy patriarch summoned the 3 of them, there must be a solution to the problem. None of the 3 spoke, waiting for Natsuki's words later. Xiaomu was satisfied when he saw that the 3 of them were relatively calm. Xiaomu drew on his left arm with his hand, and lines of sealing techniques appeared. This is a defensive detection barrier technique. The 3 of them were a little surprised. They didn't expect Sir Shimu to know the sealing technique. Xiaomu smiled and did not explain where this technique came from. Instead, he began to teach the 3 of them how to use chakra and how to create techniques. Some of them were both grateful and nervous. They were grateful for Master Shimu's trust. They were nervous because they were afraid that they would not learn well and let Master Shimu down, but the 3 of them soon discovered that they seemed to be particularly familiar with the sealing technique. They could easily understand what Natsuki explained, and Daichi even put forward some of his own ideas. The 3 of them listened with great interest to the knowledge of sealing techniques, and it seemed that they were supposed to know this technique. Sir Xiaomu is really wise and discerning, and several people had this idea. Xiaomu saw that everyone was very interested, so he spent a few hours to completely teach the defensive and detection barrier technique. Have you guys learned the lesson? After hearing Xiaomu's words, Chiming subconsciously tested the barrier technique in his hand, and soon the light of the barrier technique lit up in his hand. Iji and Daichi tried it in their hands, and soon the light of the barrier technique also lit up. Xiaomu nodded with satisfaction. Sure enough, several people have this talent, and they can learn it quickly once they have the knowledge. Several people looked excited. It was incredible that they had learned a technique in one night. The enchantment spells in the hands of several people were transformed into various shapes. It means that several people can already use this skill initially. How many more days will it take to set up the barrier? The few people discussed it with each other, and Chiming replied, Captain, it will take about 7 days to familiarize yourself with the technique, and you will also need some materials. However, the setup time will take about 2 weeks. Okay, tomorrow Iji goes to report to Fugaku, Daichi goes to communicate with the patrol team, and Chiming goes to prepare the materials. As soon as the preparations are completed, we will start decorating directly. I will see the barrier in 3 weeks. Yes. Tonight, I will first remove all the ANBU's nails. Xiaomu moved his hands and feet, and finally he no longer had to be stared at by the annoying flies.